Superman, are you...
I'll live.
Where's Marvel?
He's up there. He's reached the bomb, but he can't penetrate the force field. I've got to help him.
But once again, Superman is too late. Marvel has made his decision.
Shazam! Shazam! Shazam!
The nuclear blast is loud enough to deafen my spectral ears. The flash is bright enough to blind my non-existent eyes. Though untouchable, I cringe as the shockwave passes through me. I shiver not from pain, but from the cold touch of death. For as the shockwave moves, it gathers up the spirits of the superhumans it has killed, and it has killed them by the hundreds. When my sight finally returns, I think for a moment that I'm in heaven. Everything around me is white and silent. But I soon realize that the whiteness is the dust of Kansas, blown into the air and bleached white by the violence of a nuclear reaction. The silence is the silence of death. All around me lie the blasted skeletons of fallen superhumans, the flesh torn from their bones, the atoms of their unspeakable power now scattered across the horizon. I am shaken to the core of my being.
Norman McKay.
They're gone, all of them.
Not all.
No.
Superman survived the blast. But why? Why did this happen?
Judgment.
He's leaving. But where?
Almost certainly to confront his human attackers. He feels completely alone. He need not look.
I see more superhumans behind some sort of green barrier. Green Lantern, Flash, Magog is there too, and others.
There were survivors. Those such as Green Lantern with the power to shield those around them from the blast. They are fewer in number, and their pain is great. But their war is over. Judgment has been passed. I am no longer needed. Farewell, Norman McKay.
Farewell? Farewell? You think you brought me all this way just to watch people die? Well, think again. You want to confront evil, then get us to the UN now. You saw Superman. You saw an anger that could twist steel. If what happens next happens the only way it can, and you let it, then that is evil.
Very well. The United Nations.
God, Superman's bringing the roof down. He's going to kill them. Somebody's got to do something.
After 10 years, he has finally let free a wrath that would cower Satan himself. How can any man possibly calm the fury he feels towards his persecutors?
I can reach behind it. Do you really think he's mad at them? He's raging at himself. Spectre, use your powers. Let me talk to him now. Clark. Clark, don't. You blame yourself for Captain Marvel, for Magog and Kansas, for 10 years that ended today. Yes, you're angry, but in that anger, you're forgetting once more what humans feel, what they fear. They won't forgive you for this, Clark. Forgive yourself.
You? Why are you here?
To bear witness. Listen to me, Clark. Of all the things you can do, all your powers, the greatest has always been your instinctive knowledge of right and wrong. It was a gift of your own humanity. You never had to question your choices in any situation, any crisis. You knew what to do. But the minute you made the super more important than the man, the day you decided to turn your back on mankind, that completely cost you your instinct. That took your judgment away. Take it back. If you want redemption, Clark, it lies in the very next decision you make. Make it as a man. Make it right.
Superman.
Cal.
Survivors, how?
With his dying breath, Captain Marvel managed to detonate the bomb high above Ground Zero. Thanks to that, and the combined powers of Green Lantern and others, there were survivors.
How many?
Enough to leave us with the same problem as before. The same impasse, the same dangers, the same distrust, the same everything.
What now?
Now we put things right. Where is Secretary General Wormwood?
Here, Superman.
Years ago, I let those I swore to protect drive me away. We all did. And that was the day all of this began.
We saw you as gods.
As we saw ourselves, we were both wrong. But I no longer care about the mistakes of yesterday. I care about coping with tomorrow together.
What do you intend to do?
The problems we face still exist. We're not going to solve them for you. We're going to solve them with you, not by ruling above you, but by living among you. We will no longer impose our power on humanity. We will earn your trust. Let it begin here, now, with my one secret. You should know that for years I moved through Metropolis under another name, a name many of you knew. I was a man named Clark Kent. As Clark, I was a rather ordinary man living in Metropolis. I had a job and responsibilities and a wife. Her name was Lois Lane. She taught me more about being human than anyone I've ever known. It was a lesson I seem to have forgotten. Less than an hour ago, I asked Captain Marvel to choose between humans and superhumans. But he alone knew that was a false division and made the only choice that ever truly matters. He chose life, and he gave his own to make certain we understood that. Now there's nothing left of him but the memory of just how important his sacrifice was.
There's also this, Superman.
Magog, you have something to say?
Yes, sir. I found this on the battlefield.
It looks like
Captain Marvel's cape. When he flew after you, his cape was torn away in the struggle and fell near the energy shield Green Lantern had created.
Magog's telling the truth, Cal. My daughter Jade and I were focusing on keeping the shield up, but Magog demanded we open a hole so he could run out and get the cape. He risked his life for that piece of cloth.
Magog, why?
I thought, when I saw what Captain Marvel was going to do, I thought that something ought to survive. I couldn't bear to have one more voice added to the millions.
Magog, well done. This cape will make a fitting banner. Secretary General Wormwood?
Yes, Superman?
Magog has kindly supplied the metahumans with a flag, a symbol of our new nation.
A nation of metahumans?
One which, respectfully, requests permission to join the United Nations.
I believe your application will be approved.
Then, with your permission, I'd like to fly Captain Marvel's cape as our new banner with the flags of the other nations immediately.
Certainly. Let me call the color guard. They can raise the flag for you.
That won't be necessary.
Spectre, is that it?
Very nearly, Norman McKay.
I feel time fold forward. The visions and the voices that have plagued me for so long now fade. I watch great powers reconstruct a once stately manor into a hospital patrolled by a man who has traded black garb for white. Bruce Wayne throws open wide the doors of his once well-guarded home, filling its halls with the victims of the nuclear blast. Under his watch, survivors ravaged by the effects of the bomb are nurtured and cared for, while those who help bring about the cataclysm suffer their own unique justice.
Luthor, get to work.
Have you seen my assignment? Bedpans? I am Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor does not wash bedpans.
Well, apparently he does. Oh, and Luther.
Yes?
Shazam.
Ah, shut up!
Across the world, new roles are embraced, new alliances forged.
Ladies and gentlemen of the delegation, may I present our newest member, Alan Scott, representing New Oa, the meta-human community.
After far too long a time, the gods have chosen to work with mankind towards a common good.
Only one works alone.